Good morning, grade 2. How are you doing today? I pray all of you are keeping well. Okay, we're gonna study about the nature of science and scientists. Our lesson for today is how do scientists find answers? How do scientists find answers? Scientists learn about the world around them. First they ask, then they investigate about it. Again, first they ask, then they investigate about it. So, they never stop asking about everything around them. They ask, then they investigate. Now you got the meaning of investigate? You investigate when you look for answers. Investigation means looking for answers. So, scientists first ask, then they investigate, or they look for answers. Scientists repeat investigations before drawing conclusions. They repeat their investigations, not for once. They repeat them before drawing conclusions. Okay, teacher, I'm sorry, I didn't get it. I don't know what's the meaning of conclusions. Okay, follow me. Okay, a conclusion is what you decide after you think about all you know. Again, conclusion means what you decide after you think about all you know. Students, it is the final answer. Conclusion means the final answer, the final thing they found after all their work and experiments. So, scientists repeat investigations before drawing conclusions, which they are the final thing they found, the final step. Got it now? Great! You should be able to draw similar conclusions when you repeat an investigation. For example, if one scientist asked himself about the tallest tree all over the world, he investigated about the place of that tree, he traveled, he measured that tree, and he found that it was about 100 meters, for example. Okay, and another scientist made the same. He investigated and he measured that tree. He found that tree is about 105 meters. Okay, and scientist 3 investigated, traveled, measured the same tree, and he found that it was about 100 meters and 10. So, they repeated investigations and their conclusions are perfect, are similar to each other. Their answers, their conclusions are so close, so similar to each other. Okay, everybody, get your science book, open page number 189. At the end of the page, you're gonna find that question. Read it, please. Explain what would happen if other people repeat the same investigation as the scientist in the picture. What would happen if other people repeat the same investigation as the scientist in the picture? What do you think? What about if you repeat the same investigations of the scientist? What about the conclusion? Exactly. They would get similar conclusions. They would get similar conclusions. Scientists repeat investigations and they get similar conclusions. Their conclusions, their final answers are so close to each other. Scientific methods are ways of finding answers. Scientists use it when they do their experiments. Okay, teacher, please, can I ask you, what are the steps of the scientific method? Of course, but please you tell me the first step of scientific method, as we studied. Great, yeah. The first step is to ask a question. Yeah, first step in the scientific method is asking a question. Second, make your hypothesis. Repeat, please. Hypothesis. Hypothesis. Hypothesis is a possible answer to your question. Of course, when you ask yourself a question, you put a possible answer, which is called hypothesis. Step number 3, plan a fair test. Scientists plan a fair test, which means they change only one thing in their experiment and keep everything else the same. For example, a scientist asked himself about seeds. The question was, do seeds need water to grow? Then he made his hypothesis, or his possible answer. He said, yes, I think seeds need water to grow. After that, he started his experiment or his test, using pots to plant, soil, water, and seeds. He kept everything the same in both of pots. He changed only one thing. He watered one pot and he didn't water the other. Do you follow me? Now your science book, open page number 190. At the end of the page, it's asking you to write the words water and no water to label the pots. Do not forget, as a scientist, you have to label everything you use. You have to give name to everything you use. You have to record every step you do. Read the question again, please. Write the words water and no water to label the pots. Number 4, do your test or your experiment. Repeat it. See if your results are the same. To make sure that you are doing well, your results, your answers, they have to be so close to each other at least. Number 5, collect and record your data. Record every single step you are doing and collect your answers. Collect your data. Finally, or number 6, tell your conclusion. Can you remember what is the meaning of conclusion? Very well. Your science book again. Open page number 191. Okay, read the page very well. Read every single step. Then, at the end of the page, it's asking you to circle the question. What is the question of the scientist? Then, underline the hypothesis. Of course, if there is a question, there is a hypothesis. Finally, explain what you think would happen if someone else followed the same steps in this investigation. I think we answered that before. We answered a similar question. What would happen if someone else followed the same steps in this investigation? Okay, grade 2, we have finished this lesson. Now, time to review the main points or the most important points of the lesson that we learned. In this lesson, we studied 3 new words. First, investigate. Investigate. Come on, what is the meaning of investigate? It means is to look for answers, yeah. Conclusion. It's what you decide after you think about all you know. And hypothesis. Possible answer, yeah, it is the possible answer to the question. We studied too that scientists repeat investigations before drawing conclusions. And we studied that they have scientific methods to find their answers. There were 6 scientific steps. Number 1, ask a question. Number 2, make your hypothesis. Number 3, plan a fair test. 4, do your test. 5, collect and record data. 6, tell your conclusion. By the way, grade 2, not always scientists do all of these steps. Sometimes they do the steps in different order. It depends on the scientist, his mind, and his experiment. Scientists have different scientific methods, but we studied the most common one. And now imagine yourself as a scientist and do your own experiment. Go ahead, Mr. or Miss Scientist. Thank you so much, grade 2, for listening. Read your lesson, study hard, and keep it up. Thank you.